You know, beans, rice, and potatoes were staples, and they still are, of food for all people all over the world. I mean, in some countries they mainly eat rice, some it's potatoes, um, but all countries usually eat rice, potatoes, staples like that. They use flour for bread or whatever they use flour for. Some of them may use wheat flour, all different rice flour, but it's a staple. In the Depression, they ate a lot of beans because they were cheap. People still eat beans because they're cheap. Not only because they're cheap, but because they're very nourishing. They're full of fiber for your body. Your body's got to have fiber. So we're going to fix some beans today. I've got some pinto beans, about a pound bag of pinto beans. And we're going to put those on to soak right now for a little bit. I'm going to wash them. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll get my colander out and wash them in that. If I can get it out with stuff falling out in my face. But I love pinto beans, especially if I put ground beef in them. Turn them into what I call chili beans. Whoops. I just poured them all over the sink. It's a good thing the sink was clean. I had just washed the sink out. So let's get these beans up out of the sink and get them in my bowl so we can wash them. Also look through them to make sure there's no, sometimes there's clots of dirt or clay in your beans in the bag. Or you might have a bad bean. So now is the time you can take those out. There, I think they're soaked. I mean, they're washed pretty good. Put them over here. I'm going to put some water in my pot. Now, when you do this, you can wash them a little bit again, and you'll see a few beans floating to the top. Those few beans you can just take out, because usually if the beans float to the top, that means they're not solid beans. That there might be part of it a hull, or it might be a bad bean. So I just take those a little bit out. Usually it's not many at all. Now what we're going to do is soak them. Now you can soak them for an hour and then cook them, or you can soak them overnight. But I'm just going to cover them, and I'm going to let my beans soak. Well, if I get my lid on. I'm not turning the burners on or anything like that, but I am going to soak them. Especially with pinto beans, they cook a lot better if you soak them at least an hour before you cook them. And And like I said, some people usually cook them, or not cook them, but soak them overnight before they're cooked. You can do a quick soak, as they call it, where you wash them, drain them, put them in a pot of boiling water and boil them for a few minutes, and then drain them, fill it back with water again, heat it up, turn your burner off and let them sit for an hour. That's called a quick soak. And then you can proceed to drain that water off after they've soaked for an hour, and then proceed to put your other ingredients in to cook your beans. And we'll bring you back when I get ready to add other ingredients to my beans. Well, my beans have been soaking for several hours. Now I'm just going to rinse them a little. I mean, these have already been rinsed several times before I soaked them, but I like to rinse them off again. I'm going to go ahead and turn my burner on. Now, I like to make what I call chili beans, and I don't quite have a pound of beef here, but I'm going to put what beef I have in here. I usually put at least a pound, and I just break it up. And one clump just come out in a big clump. Oh. Now I'm going to put about a level tablespoon of beef bouillon, just plain beef bouillon. I don't want too much, but just a level tablespoonful is enough. I'm going to put about the same, maybe not quite a level tablespoon of onion powder. Put about that much of garlic powder. And chili powder. I think I'm going to take this off and just, well, can't go down in there with that, but I'm going to put about a teaspoonful of chili powder in there. I'm going to add a little salt. A little pepper. And I'm going to put my little tomato sauce that I had here. Part of it is to the jar. You know how it gets when you got it in the refrigerator and you almost have it empty. Now you can put a can of tomatoes in there if you would like. Or you can put tomato sauce like I did. And I'm going to add a can of tomato sauce. A lot of times I just put cut tomatoes, you know, diced tomatoes that are in a can. You can do either one. I'm getting my pot a little bit full. And I did not go pull onions, so I'm going to just cut up some of this one. It's a red onion, but it'll do. I am not going to put the whole thing in there, just part of it. I'm only going to put about a quarter of this onion in there. If I can get the peeling off of it. Boy, it's a strong onion, I'll tell you that. All of the ones I got out of the garden. This is my last red onion from the garden. I mean, it was a pretty good size onion. Big onion. Oh man, that is a strong onion. Strong onion, y'all. Woo! Ooh, Lordy. Mmm. Y'all know I never like to do this. Oh my goodness, that is a strong onion. Whew. Oh man. That is one powerful onion that came out of my garden. Woo! Save this other onion for something else. Because I'm getting down, all I'm going to have is my Egyptian walking onions, which those are good. I just haven't been out there to pull any tonight. Oh my goodness, y'all. Whew. Some strong onion. Now, what I'm going to do is just bring this to a boil. And like I said, usually I put a whole pound of ground beef. I had about a half a pound. So I just went ahead and put that half a pound in there. And I've been wanting some homemade, what I call chili beans, for a while. A lot of people don't like to eat beans because I guess it gives them gas or whatever. Some people say you can put a little bit of vinegar in your beans when you're cooking them. I got a couple of beans that tried to go down the drain. But some people say you can put sugar. I've tried sugar. I don't know if that works or not. I can't tell the difference. They say you can put a little vinegar in your pot, and that helps cut down on the gas when you eat them. I don't know. I've never tried the vinegar. But I guess it wouldn't hurt. So let's try. I got some apple cider vinegar. And I'm just going to put maybe a tablespoon or so in there. Because like I said, no more than that, it's not going to hurt. Who knows, it may even work. Get those to a boil. Let me find my my stopper that goes in the top. I found it now, so getting it out of here. Oh, come on. Slip down the side of my doohickey here. There it goes. I got it. I like to wet my gasket down a little bit in my lid. I'm going to put the lid on because it's almost ready to start boiling. That is, I guess. I usually put 5 pounds of pressure, not anything any heavier than that. And I'm going to, when it starts to jiggle, I'm going to turn my burner down to where it just barely jiggles at all. It might jiggle a little bit, wait 30 seconds and jiggle again, or it might wait almost 60 seconds before it jiggles again. But you don't want it to steady jiggle, because if you do, that means the pressure is building up too much inside, and it can blow your little rubber gasket, and you'll end up with a bean spout going up your stove. So you don't want to do that. And we're going to leave them under pressure for about an hour, and we'll come back. Well, it's been on for about an hour. I'm going to see if I can cool it down a little bit. And the best way to do that is, if you can, is to put it under cold running water. Steam is pretty much released right away when you do that. This one has a little lock under it, and I have to release the lock before I can turn the handle. Thought I had it. There. I'm going to try the beans, see how done they are. Because I didn't have it under much pressure, because my pot was so full. That's good, but I'm going to boil them now for a while, because I like for my the soupy part of it to thicken up. So I'm going to probably boil it for 30 minutes to an hour. Well, my beans have been cooking. I think they're probably pretty much done. I pressured them, cut with the under pressure for an hour. And then I've been letting them boil at a slow boil for about an hour, because I like my liquid to start to get thick. But there's my chili beans, y'all. Don't those look good? I think they look real good. And I'm going to show you how I eat them. Get me a bowl over here. Okay, if I can find my cheese. I always like to put cheddar cheese on mine when I go to eat them. And sometimes I'll cut up extra onions on them. I'm going to go ahead and turn these off. Yeah, I still like to get a little bit more of the juice to cook down on them. Let's get over here. I got my candle right there. But this is what my kids loved to eat when they were growing up. I just pile a bunch of cheese on them. Let the cheese start melting. That is, if I had the cheese. Sometimes I didn't have the cheese. All we had was the beans. But I'll tell you what. These beans were really good. That cheese will help cool them down a little bit too. They're pretty hot. Yeah, sometimes I chop up a little bit more raw onion and put on them and then throw the cheese on it. And that's the way I ate them. I mean, I've got plenty of onion already in them. But see, there's some of the cheese that's already melted. And get it so it doesn't fall off of the spoon. But there you go. Y'all take a spoonful of chili beans with cheese. Homemade chili beans. That's what my kids loved when they were growing up here. And I'm going to eat some. Dear Lord, bless this food I'm about to eat. Bless all the YouTubers out there. Bless my friends and family. And bless this food I'm about to eat. Amen. Y'all. That is so good. I love chili beans made like this. They're really good. Steaming hot chili beans with cheese. But I love pinto beans, and I love them cooked this way. So y'all make you a pot of chili beans. Don't that look good? Nothing better than a good hot bowl of homemade chili beans with pinto beans, ground beef, onion and spices, tomato sauce, and some cheddar cheese. That is good eating right there. Try it. I think you'll love it. I appreciate y'all watching my videos. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for supporting my channel.